living in a castle. A castle, it was a fortress. It was a place to live safe because there were walls, turrets, and a lot of people taking care of the inhabitants of the castle. But the first thing that we should know is who built and primarily lived in castles. Well, everyone could think in kings and queens, right? Well, yes and no. The king or queen, obviously, they would have lived in a castle, but in a palace too. You could find other people that they should live in a castle. For instance, the nobility, because the nobility was taking care of their own lands, and the only way to protect those lands was to live close then. And the castle, it was the place where all the people living there could be safe. Where could we find, or can we find, because most of them still there, those castles? Well, in France, Germany, Poland, England, and of course in Spain too. Could we possibly live in there today? Oh no, obviously no, because castles are very cold in winter, very hot in summer, dark. There are no furniture, only a table and maybe a chest, something like that. And it's not a fancy place. Windows are so tiny, small, because it's a way to protect from arrows, and that's why it's so dark, and it's not a nice place right now. But those days it was okay for to be safe. Another problem of the castle, another problem was that it was so small for so many people. Then can you imagine being in a place with so much people and sharing streets, buildings, and that kind of things? You never felt alone. That's a good thing, but sometimes, especially those days, because the problem with the water was important. What? I mean, what was the problem with the water? Water, it wasn't easy to get because it wasn't like nowadays. That's why maybe they only take a shower or a bath once every single life, meaning that only in one special occasion, like the wedding or something like that, they were able to or willing to take a bath. That's because it wasn't an easy life, not only because of the smell, but for the illness too. Obviously, it's not a good idea to don't take a bath. Another important thing is that you were not able to get as much food as we get nowadays. Can you imagine being all day long being hungry? But not only one day, but one day after another. Hungry, hungry, hungry. That was tough life. Well, obviously, that wasn't true if you were the king or the queen or the noble, but for many people it was difficult to get food. That's why uh, it wasn't funny to live there. And mostly this is all of that I wanted to tell you today.